Battle mode initiate.
Yeah, you know what they say. The third strike is what counts. And you can get it too. Don't think that I can knock you out. Knock you out. Knock you out. Knock you out. Don't think that I can knock you out.
The answer lies in the heart of battle.
Hello everyone, this is Do a Dreamer, and today we're going to be doing a behind the scenes look at my second animation of Frank West versus Negan for Battle Mode. I believe this was episode 10. So you get to see the breakdown what I was doing during this animation and what my thought process was, and also why I let a certain character win, because I know a lot of people did not agree with it. But anyway, this was the stage that I came up with. This is actually a stage from one of the, I think it was either Marvel vs. Capcom, and I was going to show you what I used. I wanted to get a feel like a zombie apocalypse type of thing. So as you can see here, there are different layers to this. I'm going to show you each one. There's one layer with the police cars and the street. That's one layer. Some of the other layers itself also has like the buildings that you see in the back. The reason why there's like separate keyframes there is because of the lights from the police cars to show it's rotating and stuff. So that's why there's like a couple of keyframes there. There's also some lights in the buildings too that kind of flicker as well. So I want to give that type of atmosphere, like there's lights working and there's SWAT cars still spinning. And I think it would look weird if I just used one frozen frame for the whole thing. You see parts of the lights just shining. So as you can see here, I pretty much did different layers. Some for the building, some for the skyline, even for the sky. And this is me showing you that this is why I have these keyframes, to show that the siren lights are moving. For this part, this is on the actual stage part for the animation. I wanted to put some zombies on the ground, dead zombies, to look like a zombie apocalypse, pretty much. You know, these are cars that are just parked every which way randomly and showing some dead bodies of zombies. So for this one, I put some zombies as a background and some for the foreground, so that way when I put Negan and Frank West in the fight, so there are going to be times where you see some of the zombies overlap their feet, so to get that, you know, 3D aspect, you know, kind of like different dimension of the battle itself. So like I was showing you, I put different zombies on the floor, some even on top of cars, because like I said, I just want to give like a type of a feel of a zombie apocalypse, because both characters from, you know, The Walking Dead as also Dead Rising is in a zombie apocalypse. And you do tend to see dead bodies all over the place. I know it sounds morbid. Now, of course, you see some zombies pretty much over the stage itself, and that's because, you know, getting that feel, because you're not going to see that part. But anyway, here is the actual battle. This, once again, I put it as a symbol. I did the whole battle as one symbol, and then I put that whole symbol onto the background itself when I put it on scene 1 or the stage itself. So you see the whole choreography. It's gonna look weird. This one doesn't have any effects. Again, you're gonna see sometimes them disappearing and stuff like that, because like I said, with the camera, it's not going to show them. So this is more sort of like my anticipation of where I'll have the camera in these parts. So this was my strategy of how I usually animate. I know other animators do it differently. Some actually do it on the background itself, which I actually did it for the first time for my latest animation. I wanted to show you something. I want to talk about something I did with Frank West. This is actually 2 different sprites for Frank West in this one. The first one I used, and you can see the difference, like you see how the head is different from the original sprite I used for Frank West, as you can see here. The real reason is I kind of like that one better, in my opinion. I thought this one looked a little bit better, but a lot of animators use the other one that you see here. The other one, oops, hold on a minute, I'm gonna put that in the center. The other one actually has more moves, more movement, even the costumes, like you saw the Mega Man X costume. With this sprite in particular, it had some good moves, but it lacked, like, some of the costumes, like paying homage to Dead Rising 4, where he's wearing different costumes, and also Dead Rising in general, he wears different costumes. But I wanted to give that type of aspect. There were a lot of costumes and stuff. Even the that exosuit he had in um Dead Rising 4. But here's the thing though, I didn't play Dead Rising 4 yet, so I didn't know how to utilize it. And here's like the ending scene of the whole thing. And what I did here is did like a little spin out for Frank as he's going up. So like, whoo, boom, kind of get that feel of, and you're going to see how the ending is right here, or how I did the final blow. You saw Negan's whole body pretty much irking. But like I said, the point of view from the camera is going to be right at Negan, not Negan, Frank West's bloody face, and you're just going to see the back coming down. So there's a little behind the scenes stuff. So now you get to see how it looks in the battle with the background and everything. And I think it blended pretty well. And also have the effects too, like the flash, the hot spots, even the dizzy stars. I wanted to show you something also here. Once again, I used the VCam that I created right here. I'm going to be honest with you, it's not the greatest VCam. I did get a better VCam thanks to Ghost Notorious that I used from now on. But yeah, this is one I constructed myself. I learned from online. And you can rarely see it on there. And that was why I didn't like using this one very much. But later on, I did use a better VCam for animations. So that's where like the camera is right now when you see the final project. Well, final product actually. So you can see here, boom. Oh boy. I know it looks kind of funky, but it is what it is. I also want to show you a little bit of a close-up here, where he did the headbutt. As you remember, if you watched the video, there was a big, huge shake. So it looks weird if he just put his head together like that and it's not shaking. But if you look carefully, you see the hash marks of the camera shaking, showing the shake, of showing that impact of the headbutt. Yeah, so, and hopefully this is something that people who want to be animators can use this, because at the same time, you also have to be sort of like the cameraman. You're also the cameraman, so if you have an idea of how you want the battle or your animation to proceed, you have to think like a cameraman too. So you're pretty much doing a lot when it comes to animating. You're doing the choreography, the acting, the writing the script if you do write a script, and also the cinematography as well. This one is the effect where it showed the background show like it's a blurb, and the knife was going really fast. If you notice at the last part, you saw there was a pause of that, and then boom. I thought about that, trying to be creative. So sometimes the way I animate is like I have an idea of how I want the fight to be, and sometimes as I'm animating, I come up with ideas, on the go. And here we are, turn into Mega Man X, shoots him, Negan runs away, boom, goodbye to the to the police van right there. That part here, that van was actually on the actual stage itself. I didn't put it with the stage when I was making it as a symbol, because I wanted to do something like that where And I know there was some fire. There was supposed to be fire there. I actually put that on post production when I use Sony Vegas, because I also use Sony Vegas for some editing as well. Like the fire, because I didn't know how to put like that type of stuff onto. Well, now I do now. But it's like little things. So that's pretty much how you see it from far away. The other thing is, when after I finished the episode, I I felt like it needed an introduction. I didn't want to just start it off like I did with Ryu versus um Terry Bogard, where they just start to fight. You know what I mean? So I decided to make another file where I just make the actual intro. So it's actually two separate animations for this one, where I do the fight and also the introduction to the fight. And you can see the camera there staring at the moon, and then you see the zombie walking, just to get that zombie apocalypse feel. And he turns around, he hears the whistle, which again, I use Sony Vegas to put the sound effects on because I'm more accustomed to that. I know animators like Ghost Torres puts the sound into the actual animation by using Micromedia Flash 8, but I'm more accustomed to putting sounds through Sony Vegas. Also, I want to show you something. There was a deleted scene, as you can see there. After he hit the zombie, he smiled. There was supposed to be a dialogue where he says, "Lucille, you never disappoint me." Unfortunately, the voice actor who did Negan kind of improvised saying something. If I remember correctly, he said, "Ha, I knew I would." I was not a big fan of it, so I just cut that out. I was kind of wish he did do the thing I mentioned. So as you can see here, that's the intro, how they were just talking and stuff. And also, again, with text and stuff like that, I know I can put text on here too with Micromedia Flash, but I'm more accustomed to using Sony Vegas to put like text and sound effects and whatnot. And that's pretty much all the stuff that goes with it, I do it like through my head of what I want them to say, so that way I can do like a good pause between the interaction. So also I want to show you like what I did here. This is something I did that was new. When I started animating, was have certain attacks or certain things become symbols, so it'll be a lot easier than just doing it one at a time all the freaking time. Like perfect example, like the dizzy effects, the hit effects and whatnot. Also, certain attacks from like both Negan and also Frank West. I will say this with Negan, I didn't do a lot of him being on the ground, and the reason why is because the sprite part of him on the ground, he doesn't have Lucille in his hand. So I try to compensate where like he's hard to bring down, and also with him being suplexed behind the the van was my way of trying to hide that that effect, to hide that, so that way, because I think it'll look weird if he fall on the ground and he has Lucille away from him and then he gets right back up and fight. I didn't think it would work well. Here's a running cycle of Negan. Again, that's a symbol, a stance for Negan as well. Like I said, it's really easy to put as a symbol, and then you can just stretch it out and it loops. Here's Negan walking. I always find that to be very awkward, the way he walks and runs and stuff. So I didn't do too much of that in there, or I just like have him walk, but I hide the legs. Here's one symbol where I have Frank West throwing. That's when he was throwing the sandbag like out of nowhere. The whole point of that is like if you play Dead Rising, he has a lot of arsenals like up the butt, like up the wazoo kind of thing. So I was like, oh, he might have a sandbag up his sleeve and then use it as a shield or something like that. And there, once again, I was going to show you what I meant by these are two different sprites. And you can tell by the face. Yeah, I have to highlight that when I want to magnify and get it right there. So you see how the face looks right there as compared to this one right there. Personally, I like that one better than the other one, but I know a lot of animators use the second one because it has a lot more stuff in that sprite folder, like the costumes and more movement animations and whatnot. So I see why people use that more. So anyway, here is the actual finished product of the animation. As you can see, you see how I use the camera to get that atmosphere. I did get 3 voice actors for this one. One was for the zombie, which actually is Richard Korra Kenobi, or Jedi Bender, or Cyber King, as he likes to call himself now. He did the voice for the zombie. I forgot. I put the name on here, just tell you who did the voice for Negan. As for Frank West, it was actually NidgeDFX. I've talked to Nidge about this stuff, you know, doing these types of doing this, and he was all on board to do the voice of Frank West, and I was so happy because it kind of has that same voice pattern, and he, you know, did an awesome job with the lines. He even improvised some stuff where I used some of his improvised lines for the animation. Let's get it on. So now you get to see how it all comes together with the effects and with the camera moving. And I know a lot of people saying that, oh, this is actually great.
Have some pie.
As you saw the headbutt, because I didn't want to show, oh, headbutt booming, the camera's not shaking. So, like I said, all the sound effects is from the actual Sony Vegas, because like I said, I'm custom using Sony Vegas for this stuff. There he is in the
Well, shit.
Now, a lot of people thought that Negan should have died, but if you watch Walking Dead, here's the fire I was talking. That was from Sony Vegas. But like I said, there have been multiple times where Negan should have died, and he somehow always finds a way out of death, and then sneak up on his victim. And this was actually kind of a callback to the one season finale where he hit Abraham, but we didn't know who it was, and then when he hit him, it all went dark. And so to explain why I wanted him to win, it was just because I like Negan, but I do like Frank West better, but I just want to be curious to see, like, what if this would actually happen in a fight between Negan and whoever, you know, like, it could happen, you know, but I do know that if this was based on research, definitely Frank West would win. So yeah, I know a lot of people was not happy with it, but like I said, I made it very clear, like, this is just for entertainment. It's a possible outcome because we've seen Frank West in video games where he gets rocked by psychopaths in Dead Rising. So anyway, this is all she wrote. This is actually the behind the scenes stuff for this episode, and I'm glad you guys are liking this, and I will be doing another behind the scenes, which will be Fei Long versus Johnny Cage, so you get to see behind the scenes stuff on that in a later date. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you very much for watching this. If you have any comments or questions that you want to ask and stuff, or you know, or give a comment, please leave it under the comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. We gotta discuss and read about it. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also please go to my Patreon account for battle mode. There's a lot of perks and stuff that you can get if you donate, including getting one of your requests being done, guaranteed. Definitely, like I said, guaranteed it's going to be done for you if you do some of the perks. That's actually the top tier stuff. But every little bit helps for the production of battle mode. And also, please go to these guys who helped made this episode possible with their voice acting. They're awesome. And also check out more episodes of Battle Mode right there. Alright guys, so this is Do a Dreamer, and always dream big.